Oh my god, what the?
7K dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be looking at 3 different teams for Awakened Karma. Okay, and here is the dev team. I'm using Kris. Kris is my dev user here. And this is following the previous week where I was also using dev team and it was very successful. So let's see how it works actually in this new context. So basically, Karma himself already buffs debuff cast rate by 20%. So my frontline has a formation buff to increase debuff cast rate by 10% as well. So and it turns out that my first opponent right here is using the Karma team as well. So we're gonna see a lot of debuff going on for this match. His Karma actually uses the Awaken skill first, and this Awaken skill actually causes him to change form into a Shadow Karma, which is quite weird because I rather look at Awakened Karma instead of the Shadow version. So over here my Rudy actually hasn't even used his Awakened skill and just got charged up, and that is pretty late in my opinion, even though the match just started. But yes, it's pretty late. Usually he uses much earlier, and my Rudy has paralyzed accessory, so he actually paralyzed the battery, opponent's battery, which is great because I don't want her to be eliminating my heroes. So this skill from Karma actually causes bleed and reduce buff duration by 3 turns and also reduces the awakening gauge, but however he did not manage to reduce the awakening gauge of battery, who is at the back. So this causes my Rudy to be eliminated, and this is quite sad, and my Kris actually took revenge and killed off the battery. So now my Awakened Karma has also activated, has transformed, and now there's so much bleed going on, and my Awakened Karma is actually using his bleed amplification, and boom! This is crazy, okay? This bleed amplification skill is mad. It just killed a Rudy, it killed a Karma, it killed a Paladinus. And I just fast forwarded this part because it's super long. This Jave was so hard to take down, almost impossible, and I also finished him off with bleed. Okay, Death didn't even break through. So moving on to the second match, this is also using my Kris, my Death team, my Death Kris I mean, against a speed team. Okay, so how will this tank team fare against a speed team? As you can see from just now, the damage taken by the team is really low, okay? Karma using this skill inflicts 5000 fixed damage, okay? My Karma is actually equipped with double lethal, so he will tend to skill more, and he's also given HP. And you should give him HP because he actually buffs block rate by 80%, okay? So if you just were to add on additional block jewels or block traits on your heroes, then basically there's already 100% block rate. Okay, and that's very good because all your damage is halved. So my Kris is the one countering right now because if you see my Rudy is actually not in his counter mode. Okay, so this is where Kris actually can serve as the main counter before Rudy actually uses the counter mode. And one of the issues with Kris and Rudy on the same team is that actually if Rudy breaks into counter mode, then Kris will not counter at all. So Death team, the Death doesn't work that well. So hence my Rudy, I give him paralyze, so you know when he counters he can also paralyze enemies, and I think people rarely have paralyze resist, okay? So I'm gonna spend some time talking about my Kris because this is after a Kris video, and it's so unfortunate that he cast his death and Rin actually just removed it like that. Okay, but anyway, your Kris needs to have very high counter, okay? If you're not using Rudy, your Kris needs to have high counter, and also I've given him recovery skill jewel so that he can actually heal the team as well. So this actually, along with Karma's heal, along with Kris's heal, your tank team is going to really live quite well, okay? So you see that whenever Karma uses that skill, he actually heals by 2000 HP. His heal is not a percentage based. Okay, so my Kris casts death on the opponent team, counters and kills the Paladinus, Does a speed attack and kills the Clemif, and a speed attack kills the... Wow, I just... He just killed 3 people in one row, which is quite crazy. The chance of that is very low actually, and you need really good debuff cast rate traits, okay, as well. Moving on, I actually used this team at first, which is the Nezha team, and I know a lot of people will be using Nezha for the turtle tank team. Okay, so here it is with Clemif. So as I said, I will be swapping out that spot, that hero spot in my team. So Rudy goes first as usual. Rudy will always cast his shield first because it is a non-damaging move. So non-damaging moves always go first. And I've given him speed and HP. Okay, he can afford to go for HP now because he has 80% block buff from Karma. So as you can see, when he uses his Awakening Gauge very early, he actually blinds and stuns already, which actually helps you to immobilize the enemy team. But the Clemif on the enemy team actually cleared it up. And I also give him lifesteal and increased Awakening Gauge as well. So for Karma over here, I given him double lethal and HP, Isabella Vigor level 2, lethal rate dual, debuff resist and skill cooldown so that he can use his skills more. And his Light of Nirvana allows him to recover full HP, increase his power and also apply bleed. And this is a 100% guarantee application of bleed, okay? Oh yes, furthermore, he also gives 3 void shields to his whole team, which is insane, pretty insane. 3 is really a lot. So Redemption or Enlightenment is the one with the bleed amplification, okay, and this actually, too bad there's no bleed on the opponent's side now, but this also helps to heal your team by 2000 HP for each hero. And this Awakening Tempest reduces buff duration, decreased Awakening Gauge, and also has a chance to bleed. And this is why his skill set is so well synergized, because his skill is all meant for bleeding. So now we look at Nezha. Nezha has double speed, double HP, Guardian Ring with evasion, recovery skill, reduced damage from block, and also cooldown immunity. And also I've given her reduced damage from offensive, electrify resist, and block. So this gives her 100% block with the buff from Karma, and she also is a good healing unit. And she also reduces magic damage taken by your whole team, so this is very good. Because there's a lot of magic units, especially now I'm facing a lot of Sylvester, facing a lot of Mercure and Rin. So this actually reduces a lot of damage, and my tank team is surviving a lot better due to her. Jave is another very important unit here because my tank team doesn't have so much of the buff reduction. So Jave over here plays a very important role. He has 1 speed and 1 lethal and double HP, and also evasion. The jewels for him will be to increase his Awakening Gauge ASAP. So unfortunately, my Clemif is eliminated here, and now I'll be taking a lot of 5-man AoE damage, but not to worry, I think my tank team is still holding up really well at this point. So Rudy always like to cast his shield, okay? And it's a good thing because he'll be countering and he'll be having the chance to paralyze the opponent, which I really like. Furthermore, his Sword of Condemnation will let him lifesteal and also apply bleed, and this goes super well with Karma because Karma also likes to apply bleed. Or more like Karma actually suits Rudy because Rudy will counter, and when the bleed is applied, he will actually deal damage. So this is the skill that applies bleed, and it applies bleed to the opponent Rin as well as the opponent battery, which is also paralyzed. So I have some problem with dealing with the Berserk heroes like Mercure and Sylvester. Okay, later on you will see one more round. And I do feel that even though I can, wall them out, but it is much easier if I can actually buff reduce. So that is why on my team, I really rely on Karma and Jave to do the buff reduction. And even so, it is still about 1 turn short. So sometimes I do hope for my Clemif to do buff reduction as well, but she doesn't tend to move so much. So over here my Nezha dies, and I managed to apply the bleed on the opponent Clemif. Okay, and also stun. So there's a lot of debuff casting going on. Remember, I do have a formation buff for the front line. Jave has stun and Jave has burn, so it's very useful in this case. Towards the late match, especially when you have brought down all the debuff immunities, and this is where you just start to spam. So his bleed amplification is gonna take place here, and it kills off the Mercure and the Rin together. So that is how strong. I think bleed amplification means that all 5 times of bleed will actually proc at once. So that's why it's super strong. It can even kill a full health Paladinus one shot. Okay, it is that sick. So I really do find that it's useful that Rudy uses the shield or the second move after the opponent has used his first skill, because it tends to heal up all the debuffs that I face, and here he counters and his Awakening gauge comes out really quickly, so he uses the Awakening skill and it blinds and stuns about her whole enemy team already, and that is something that will really benefit me and also you from the start, because you practically immobilize the opponent team to reducing it to a few heroes on their side only, okay, that can use skills. So once again, there's Mercure and Sylvester on this team, so later you will see on this match that there is quite a difficulty in reducing and killing off the Berserk heroes, because it takes a lot of time, because Jave and Karma's skill cooldown are not that short. So my Nezha here does her formation change, which is one of the more useless skills I would say in the tank team. Sylvester is moving a lot in this match, okay, but he does very little damage. For my Karma, I'm trying to apply the bleed, but you know, when Sylvester and Mercure break into Berserk, they don't have debuffs, so no matter how much debuff you have, there's no point, because for them, all these debuffs are negligible. What I do like is that I can actually cause the Rin to be stunned. Yeah. So Sylvester also applies the burn quite frequently. If you don't have burn resist, that's gonna be a problem. And I did give my Jave burn resist as well, because I think Jave is one of the heroes that are more susceptible to burn. Even though he does become immune to debuff, so I will have to look into that again. So guaranteed crit attacks actually do quite a bit of damage, but the team can leave it after all. Okay, it's just that it can take about 30 to 40% of your HP, which is pretty scary if it keeps coming like that. So the opponent Sylvester dies to reflect, and that is also good on Jave. Here the bleed amplification takes place, and it kills off the Palinus and the cow. So the bleed amplification is super useful. I can't even stress enough. As you can see, the Mercure is actually surviving very long in this match, and it's really hard to kill him. I don't even know how he survived. He survived my Rudy's attack and got paralyzed. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some masteries here. It's a bit fast, so do try to keep a lookout. It's all defensive masteries. Okay, and I adjusted some so that I get less damage, and I didn't actually set this beforehand, so now I should be taking less damage after all these changes. So I did say that I have issues fighting the Berserk heroes, and sometimes even Kao. Okay, so I'm gonna swap out Nezha with Tara instead. And we know that Tara is very famous for her suffocation and incapacitation. Okay, and all these are also considered debuffs. So I would love to see her in a debuff cast team and doing all these debuffs, see how it works with the whole team. One issue that I have found is that when you put Tara in a team with Karma, Karma actually boosts her block rate as well, and for Tara you want her to be taking critical damage attacks, critical hits. So when you boost Tara's block rate, you end up taking a lot of normal neutral hits, and that is not what Tara wants. Yeah, so that is the only issue that I found, but otherwise Tara works pretty well, as you will see later. So Paladin is not doing much. Paladin is really not working in this whole meta right now, and she got paralyzed. Okay, so whenever I see a battery on the opponent team, I get pretty afraid. Like, I want her to be gone so badly, but I'm very glad that Rudy, I gave Rudy paralyzed, so he can paralyze all the batteries and not make them use their Awakened skill. So now my Karma has broken into his shadow form. He is more powerful now. Okay, and yeah, I think lethal on Karma is very useful. He keeps using his skills once they are ready, and so far I think everything has been going really well with lethal. So I'm gonna keep him as such, and I'm gonna try to build more lethal books for him. So Rin actually hits pretty hard without Nezha's passive buff. Okay, takes about 40% of his HP, but he does heal back, so that's something to be happy about. My Tara hasn't done her incapacitation, which is quite worrying, because if she doesn't do anything, then what's the point of me putting her there? So here she transforms and casts the suffocation. So you're gonna see a lot of extra damage going on right now. And my Rudy paralyzes the Mercure, my Jave burns. So my Karma is almost dead actually. Here he uses the bleed amplification, heals back by 2000, kills off the enemy battery, and with this attack from Rin, I'm not sure if he can take it. Okay, he can't, so he dies, and this is the first time I've seen him dying actually. So Pierce stun from Jave. Jave actually gets back heals back fully and gets back his vitality. So as you can see here, the Mercure is still having Berserk, I think. He kills off my Clamith, and I have 4 turns, so here my Tara is going to do Aqua Pop. She is going to kill off both at one time. So that is why the incapacitation is so useful over here. And she is the easiest way for a tank team to get rid of Berserk heroes, because tank team don't have much buff reduction. Rudy goes first as usual. This is the last match, by the way. So my team is quite heavily poisoned, but not to worry. So Rudy uses his Awakened skill very quickly and blinds the whole enemy team, which is great. The blind is very useful against the enemy Cow, so that he will miss. And here I fire off my Aqua Blaster pretty early, which is awesome against the Mercure and the Cow on the opponent team. But I do see that the opponent battery is getting ready to eliminate someone. So suffocation is very useful as well in this team, because there's so much additional damage from the bleed, pretty much from the bleed, right? So the battery eliminates Jave, which is okay, not too bad. At least she kept my Tara in. She kept my Karma and Tara in. So here Rudy heals all my debuffs, and I love that of him, that I don't have to worry about carrying so many debuffs along the way, especially Battery's poison. Okay, he will just conveniently heal it for me, and here my Karma transforms. The 3 shields helped so much, as you can see. Okay, totally 0 damage. And here my Rudy life steals back a lot of health, which is awesome. Continues to paralyze the enemy. And Tara goes off with Equal Pop to cause more suffocation, more residual damage. My Clemith is standing really strongly there, even though she's silenced, and now she's killed again by Rudy, which is awesome. So you saw the suffocation damage, and my Karma here actually kills off the Rain and Battery, and this actually triggers a chain attack. Okay, this is the first time I actually see him chain attack actually. So that's really good, and he actually goes on to use another skill because the Palinus is completely paralyzed. Equal Pop here tries to kill Palinus even more with suffocation. I think the whole idea of this team is how each of the heroes actually support each other, especially Karma. He has an amazing passive that actually buffs the whole team in terms of survivability, and you have Clemith who has a 5-man AoE, and then you have Rudy and Tara who is doing all this extra damage and all this CC that's going on. So I've come to the end of the video. 3 different hero combinations that can be suited with Karma, and they're all actually different concept teams. So I hope this video has helped you to think of a team to incorporate Karma into your arena team. And if it did help you, do give this video a like and do subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. I'll be showing you raid runs, so do stay tuned. Thank you and see you!